You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pennick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison. Face front, true believers, you're listening to Nerd Overload, Marion's best and only show about pop and geek culture, except no alternatives. I'm Sam.
I'm Josh.
I'm Samantha.
And I'm Cody.
Hey, everybody. We have a great show for you. Before we get into the show, it kind of dawned on us while we were planning the show. We haven't gone over what this show is about in a while. We might actually have a bunch of new listeners. So it's New Year. Let's just kind of talk about what the show is. We like we said in the open, we are a pop and geek culture show where we talk about things like comic books, movies, video games, that sort of thing. We also try to make each other laugh pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get a chuckle out of you guys too.
We get the goofs.
We do get the goofs. So anyway, with that, let's go ahead and get into some things we've been checking out.
In a segment we like to call Check It Out.
Have we ever actually called it Check It Out?
I don't think so.
A couple
Okay.
of times.
We should start calling it Check It Out.
Check it out.
Yeah, we need a sound effect.
There we go.
Check it out.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah.
Toilet flush. Air horn.
I've been watching a lot of movies and TV lately.
Cool.
Let's see here. I've watched The Monkey King,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the one with what was his name?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen. There we go.
Yeah.
What
Cheer it
could have
from-
brought that on?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I did this before.
Oh, okay.
Before the Overwatch thing. I've always been a big fan of the Journey to the West story, or fairy tale from China. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been done and rehashed half a billion times. But the movie, because I've seen the old Journey to the West movie, or not old, but the Journey to the West movie too, which is not connected to The Monkey King, Chaos in Heaven's Palace, or whatever the full title is. It's a really good movie, actually. And for people who don't maybe know who Donnie Yen is, he was the Ip Man or IP Man in those movies.
More recently, they'll know him as Chirrut the Blind, not really Jedi, but kind of Jedi in Rogue One.
Right, yeah. Oh, that is him.
That is him. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And he fights with a stick.
Yeah.
The correlations are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie is, I don't know why, like, Chinese cinema is really hit and miss. Like, either it looks really cool, or it just looks really, really bad.
Or it looks like a Jackie Chan movie, a lesser Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah. This one kind of falls in the middle. Some of the special effects look really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight scenes are kind of funny. Sometimes the Monkey King character, Sun Wukong, will kind of get on your nerves.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he is the Monkey King.
Mm-hmm. Have you explained what the Monkey King is?
Well,
because you've said it about half dozen times.
For people who maybe not know, it's a story of I don't know if you want to call him a deity or a demigod or a demon, a mythical being, Sun Wukong, who is fated to basically be a divine being. Mm-hmm. And it follows his journey through him earning his different magical abilities and...
It's a Chinese epic. It originated as a Chinese, it's the Odyssey or the Iliad.
It's a Chinese fairy tale.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, the only version of it I've ever seen was the shadow puppet play I saw in a museum.
Oh, nice. Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. It was at the Field Museum in Chicago.
Oh, right on.
I was there.
But it's a really good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. He does a really good job, like with the mannerisms and the weird little ticks that he gives the character. It makes it something that like you're not just sitting there going, okay, when is this movie going to be done? Like I legitimately enjoyed the film. Some of the acting in it is kind of, but you'll have that with a lot of foreign movies.
Sure. Well, it sounds to me like a lot of the budget went to securing Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Into the role.
Oh yeah.
Where they might have had to scrimp on other areas in order to...
Yeah, well, that and, foreign cinema also has, like, a weird, almost lesser look to it.
I wouldn't say lesser, it just depends. A lot of Chinese cinema is sponsored by the government, and it just depends how much of a government sponsorship the production company received.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like this was maybe mid-tier, middle of the road.
Yes,
or high tier, and then they spent a lot of money to get Donnie Yen.
Oh, yeah. And then I watched The Monkey King 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I was going to say The Quickening.
Yeah.
So,
Renegade Edition.
Bloodlines. With DLC season pass.
In which they could not secure
Fates.
prologue.
Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice. That's it.
Anyway, where they could not secure Donnie Yen to come back to play Sun Wukong because of scheduling conflicts with various other movies and things he was doing.
Sure, he was probably doing Star Wars, because that's a fairly recent.
Yeah.
Fairly recent.
Yeah. And so they got, what's his name? He was in the first movie. He plays the Bull King, the main villain of the first movie.
Now the villain's the good guy.
Yeah.
It's not confusing.
Well, he's in a lot of makeup, so I mean, his voice is similar, but
While you're looking that up, didn't they do an American adaptation of the Journey to the West with?
it was a miniseries on TV. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was also a movie with Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and there was a white kid as the main hero. Like, he met the Monkey King.
I do not remember this at all.
Yeah.
Just look it up on Jackie Chan's filmography. It'll be easy to find.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The Forbidden Kingdom, 2008 movie, Chinese-American film. Yeah, Jackie Chan was the drunken immortal, a pawn shop owner, and Jet Li was Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Forbidden Zone.
Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're
Yeah.
talking about your movie.
Yeah. So anyway, The Monkey King 2 starred Aaron Kwok.
Okay.
K-W-O-K.
Aaron Carter.
But he was...
Quark from Star Trek?
you know, those rules of acquisition.
Yes.
But he plays the Monkey King 500 years later when the Buddhist monk is on his journey from a divine mission to retrieve scriptures from India. And so a bunch of these different, I don't want to say people, because a lot of them aren't people, they're creatures or beings, have to, as part of like a redemption kind of thing, escort this monk to get these scriptures from the Thunder.
Oh, okay.
This is what the actual Journey to the West encapsulate. There was actually a video game kind of based on it. It was called Enslaved.
Oh, I've heard that's really good, but I've never played it.
Yeah, a loose, interpretation. But basically, the Monkey King is released from his prison. I don't really call it a prison, but he's in divine timeout from the Buddha for things he did in heaven. Basically, starting a war between the armies of heaven and the demon clans or whatever. But either way,
Oh, okay.
it's really good. Like, the production values were a lot higher.
Yeah, because they weren't having to pay Donnie Yen.
This is true. It's really, really good. I really, really liked it. There's a funny character. He plays a pig, a shape-shifting pig man.
Sounds like something from my nightmares.
Well, he looks like a very handsome man when he wants to, but then like when you smack him in the face, he shows his true form, and he's like this kind of fat pig dude.
Oh. So definitely like Nightmares.
He has a lot of really good moments in it where he's like kind of trying to like perv on like pretty ladies or something, and kind of like a Moroku, from Inuyasha kind of thing. For people who may know what that is, not Sam because he doesn't watch anime.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. You just started speaking in tongues there for a second.
But the production value is really good. A lot of the fight scenes were a little more grounded because in like the first movie, there's a lot of flying around and a lot of just kind of goofy green screen wire work. This one it still has a lot of that, but it was a lot better, more less kind of hokey looking because he's not so much flying through the air like Neo in the last Matrix movie.
Yeah.
Toward the end, there's a lot of that because he ends up fighting a like towering skeleton monster.
Nice.
Which looks a lot like the skeleton boss in Kubo.
I still haven't seen Kubo. I need to see it.
Oh, really?
We have it on Blu-ray and we haven't watched it yet.
Boo.
There's just not enough strings. There's only 2.
I don't know. I like that joke. We're getting a lot of looks from everyone else here, but I like that joke. That was an A+ for me.
Legend of Kubo, 6 String Samurai.
Yeah. That would be better.
That's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. But yeah, I've basically been like on a deep spiral of Chinese cinema.
Chinese mythology.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds awesome.
Which is good, which is kind of fitting, being Chinese New Year is very soon.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a thing.
Yep. Here, welcome to the Year of the Rooster.
Let's do a complete 180 from that and talk about Resident Evil.
Okay.
I got Resident Evil 7, the new one, the other day, and it is terrifying, especially in VR. It's just constantly tense, constantly terrifying.
So the whole game's first person?
Yes, which it works to its advantage, I think.
Because, historically they tend to be third.
Yeah, but now it doesn't play like a ridiculous and dumb action game anymore, which is what over time it slowly evolved from being a survival horror game into like a goofy action, practically Devil May Cry thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it had very Devil May Cry tones.
Yeah,
to it.
like in 5, you're like running away from Indiana Jones boulders. Like it gets ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it slows it way down. It puts it in first person. It plays almost like an adventure game at this point. Like you're picking up items, you're combining items. I mean, there's still combat and shooting, and it's first person, but it still kind of feels like Resident Evil because you still have to hold down the button to aim, and it feels a lot like the original game, which is good.
Cool. Very cool. I'm kind of glad they're getting back to their more horror roots.
Yeah, it definitely somehow feels more closer to its roots, even though it's a completely different take on the franchise. It takes place in like a derelict mansion in Louisiana, and there's like a family of redneck monster people.
Oh, wow.
That are trying. I'm not far enough to know what exactly they're doing, but it's terrifying.
It's not good.
No, I mean they're chasing you around, screaming at you. You get your hand cut off.
Oh, wow.
Which in VR is a bizarre experience.
I bet.
It kind of hurts that you don't see your whole body. You just see a pair of floating hands. So there's one point...
-1.
At one point, yeah. Where you get your hand like nailed to the wall by a screwdriver.
Ooh.
But it's just like your floating hand in part of your arm, and it's like, well, it's floating there. Just leave it. Like there's a weird disconnect between that and like feeling like it's your whole body, but it's still horrifying.
It sounds like it. That does not sound like a game that I would play.
It's really good though. It's
Got like claustrophobic parts. Like,
Yeah.
you're going through narrow. Well, the whole house is dark, obviously.
It's this guy whose his wife went missing. She went to babysit in Louisiana.
Yeah.
She disappears for like 3 years, and then suddenly he gets an email saying, "Come get me." And so he goes to go find her, and that's how you end up in this mess.
Oh, wow.
The original game was set in a mansion, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's been a long time since I played it. I don't
And so
remember.
is this one, which is part of the reason why it feels so familiar. There's emblem puzzles and weird puzzles that very Resident Evil puzzles.
Got to find the thunder key to open this gate, but you got to go back to this room to get this key to unlock this thing. And
Yeah.
Yup.
but say it looks good. I haven't been excited for a Resident Evil game probably since 4, and this
4 was like the last really good one.
yeah. This one piqued my interest.
I really like it. I've only played it in VR. I don't know how good it is in not VR, but I imagine it's still pretty fun.
When you're playing in VR, obviously you see what you see in the headset, but is it like can like other people see what you're doing on like the TV? Or...
Yeah, that's how the VR works. So
Okay.
everything is like that,
Well, except for games that use each independent screen.
like asymmetric. Where
Yeah, there's some asymmetrical games in that Playroom, the PlayStation VR Playroom, that like, there's that one where you're a cat, the person with the headset is a cat, and the other people are mice trying to run across the floor, and you try to peek out and catch them while they're moving.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. The PlayStation VR is really cool. Like, if you're interested in VR, like, it's the best place to get it without spending $800.
Yeah. Well, granted, the VR headset for PlayStation is still like what, $400?
$400, yeah. And you have to have the $300 PlayStation 4, but
Still saving $100. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
well, that and you have to have a how many $1,000 computer on top
Well,
of.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. In the end, you end up saving a lot of money, but it's just as functional VR.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Resident Evil, we watched Roger Corman's Death Race 2050.
Okay, now I'm interested in this one because I love the original Death Race 2000.
Yeah, me too. I love Death Race 2000.
Great. Yeah.
I know they made a couple like other ones that look like straight garbage.
Yeah, the remake with Jason Statham was not good.
Blech. It looked terrible.
But it didn't
Yeah.
look like it had anything to do with Death Race, the original movie. It just looked like a Fast and the Furious kind of movie.
That's what that one, yeah. Yeah. Now, is Death Race 2050, is it a straight-up sequel? Or I've heard both that it might be a straight-up sequel and it might just be a remake.
It could be either. It could be either way.
Okay.
It's not really set in one way or the other, but it takes place in kind of a dystopian future where the United States is now the United Corporations of America.
Okay.
And yeah, it's got some political over it.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, for being as incredibly dumb as it is, like it's a really dumb, stupid movie.
Great.
It knows it.
Yeah, but yeah, it knows it, and it
Is it like a Sharknado level of aware?
no, I wouldn't compare it to Sharknado because it has more going on.
Sharknado's self-awareness is almost to the point of self-parody,
Yeah,
especially in those later movies.
Oh yeah.
and it's not. There's just something crappy about Sharknado's attitude.
After the first one, they're like, "This is a blatant cash grab.
Yeah,
We know it. You know it. You're gonna sit here and watch it, and we're gonna keep making these for $5.95."
It's not genuine.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie definitely is genuine. It's in the year 2050. There's a death race every year where
Like the Hunger Games.
yeah, it's kind of like the Hunger Games. They use it to thin out the population because
They cured
they
cancer.
cured cancer. So now people don't die off, and nobody works because everything is done by robots. So they have to do something to thin the population because all people do is sit around and procreate.
That actually sounds kind of similar to what the original Death Race 2000 was, because wasn't part of the goal was for them to wipe out people.
Oh yeah, you get points for running over pedestrians, which
Yeah.
that was the original, and it's this movie too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like how many, 4 or 5 racers, and they're all like ridiculous characters. Who were there? There's Frankenstein.
Yeah,
is
I was
back.
gonna say if President Frankenstein.
He's not president.
Oh, he's not president in this one,
and he doesn't
Okay.
become president at the end either, which
bummer.
is kind of a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the ending of the other death race.
the original.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the winner gets to become the president.
yeah.
Well, what were some of the characters?
Minerva.
Yeah, he was like kind of a Beyonce type character, but edgier. And she had a popular song that was just like drive, kill the white man.
Okay.
Just it was hilarious.
Actually, you talked about how like this movie was. It actually sounds like I kind of want to watch
Well,
it.
I mean, like it starts really good, like with this stuff and all these jokes, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like halfway through, there's kind of like a romance subplot between Frankenstein and the
Oh
lady.
yeah, because this one they have.
They have VR proxies in their car that have cameras on them that people watching in VR at home will take the place of this proxy in VR so they can experience the race
Oh, okay.
next to the
Which
driver.
the goggles are literally just swimming goggles.
Yeah, they look like $5 swim goggles.
Excellent. All right.
At least they're not Google Cardboards.
Yeah, but about halfway through the movie, it starts being more interested in developing this relationship between Frankenstein and his proxy lady, and then it just sucks. It's not interesting. The writing is bad at this point, and it kind of lets go of its over the topishness, and
Like they should have just stuck with being, this vehicular manslaughter movie.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, was it directed or written or anything by Corman, or was it just executive produced by
I
Corman?
think it was just produced.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was. I mean, it's definitely better than those other crappy Death Race movies. It's
Yeah.
in the spirit of the original, definitely. There was Jed Perfectus, which is he was like a genetically engineered perfect man.
Basically Rocky.
Yeah, from Rocky Horror.
Oh, okay.
Like literally like the gold tiny undies and
Gold hot pants. Yeah.
But the punchline to every joke about him was like he's repressed gay.
Ooh, so funny.
Yeah, that gets old really fast.
Sure. Yeah.
There was Tammy the terrorist.
Had her own religion.
Yeah, that has her own religion. So people are lining up for her to run him over in the road so she gets points.
Gotcha.
She's got
And I kind of remember a similar scene in Death Race 2000 where people would just line up in the road, but I think Frankenstein like drove around them because he wanted to win fair.
Yeah, and that happens in this. There's a point where some school for handicapped kids lines up a bunch of wheelchair kids in the road.
Oh no.
So they can get more funding for their school for being part of the death race. But Frankenstein drives around all the kids and just runs over all the parents.
Wow.
Well, because kids are worth more points.
Right, yeah. Sure. Oh, yeah. No, for anyone listening at this point, the Death Race movies, they're not tasteful.
No, no.
No, they're not tasteful in any way.
No, but they're very tongue-in-cheek.
Yes.
It's not taking itself seriously at all.
Right.
But adults are worth the regular points, kids are worth more, and old people are worth the most.
Yep. I think that comes from the original as well. Huh.
Because nothing is killing the old people anymore, and you gotta get rid of them.
Wow.
What's the level of I don't know, gore in this movie?
It's pretty gory.
It's not horrible though.
I've seen gorier movies. There's a couple times where people get cut in half and there's intestines and stuff, but it's not.
Well, the special effects very bad.
Oh yeah, they're very bad.
Sure.
Like,
it's a Corman movie. Of course they're very bad.
Like almost Birdemic level bad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The cars look like garbage. Like there's just a lot of
stuff glued on there.
Cheap stuff glued on, probably a Toyota Corolla underneath all the mess. There was a great Bechdel test joke where the proxy that's with Frankenstein, it goes away for a while. It goes to a bar and ends up talking to Minerva there. Mm-hmm. But the sign in the bar just says Bechdel's Bar, and then she walks in and they pass the Bechdel test right there.
Oh, jeez.
Which is self-aware and funny.
Yeah, that's funny. That is funny.
I mean, it definitely has its moments. It's on Netflix, so you're not out anything.
Oh, good. I was going to ask if this was on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
Straight to Netflix and DVD.
If this kind of trashy good time sounds appealing to you, I mean, it's worth a watch at least.
At least the first half when it's entertaining.
Yeah, but it goes downhill, and by the end,
Yeah, okay. Well, I haven't checked anything out. I've been at work all week, so with the exception of I watched a couple episodes of the original Star Trek just to kind of unwind one evening.
That's a good way to do it.
And they're fun.
How's your movie everyday thing?
It stopped.
Did it?
It's done. Yeah, it's done. No, it's over. So anyway, let's go.
You almost got a month.
Almost got a month, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll get into some news. We're back. That was Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas.
I felt like it was a Supernatural season finale.
I've never seen that show.
Oh.
No, I take that back. I've seen the 2 episodes with Felicia Day, and that's about it.
Yeah, every season finale of Supernatural since season 1, it starts off with Carry On My Wayward Son.
Oh, okay, cool. The only reason why I watched the 2 episodes I did was I was in a hotel and the channel was having it seemed like it was a Felicia Day Supernatural marathon. It just ran them all back to back. I was like, okay, I'll watch this. That's cool. Whatever.
Was she there?
No, but it was the one where she was the hacker, and then I meant
I'm assuming this was for a convention.
No, it wasn't for a convention. I was just in a hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just sometimes I just go to a hotel.
Yeah, sometimes I just got to get out. No, it was for a concert. I was out of town for a concert. Okay. And no, it was the episode where she was a hacker, followed by the one where she was the head of a LARP group.
Yep. She was the LARP queen. Yep.
Okay, those were the 2 that I watched. I'm sure there were a few more, but
there were a couple, like in the last season or whatever. I think she pops up a little more as a semi-regular character until spoilers.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's...
Congratulations on your kid, Felicia Day.
Yeah, congrats, by the way. I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into a little bit of news. The first one we should jump into right away. They announced the official name for Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So what do we think?
It's interesting.
It raises questions.
It does. Especially with the color and the tone of the logo.
Yeah, it's red. Ooh,
Steady
spooky,
yellow.
Spooky scary.
It's red like Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Which is weird, because it almost sounds like it should be like the title of like the movie in the last part of the arc.
Eh.
Yeah, because what we know of two Jedi at this point. Kind of.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are they? Who are the last Jedi that they are discussing? Is it Luke? Is it Rey? Is it...
Well, here's the thing.
Kylo Ren?
Here's the thing with Jedi, though. The
It's
word
plural.
Jedi, is plural and singular.
Yeah, that's true.
So we don't
that's
know.
True, yeah. I didn't think of that.
There could be multiple Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we find out what happened with Luke's little, Jedi homeschool temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me think maybe Luke is gonna die,
Oh, probably.
which I really don't want. Like, can we keep one of them, please?
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to do something because, from what I understand, the original script for for Episode 9 was going to be very Princess Leia centric.
Oh,
And now they got to figure something
yeah.
out. So I don't know if they're going to...
And because they've already said they're not gonna CG her in.
For good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, too soon.
Yes.
Especially since we have a Star Wars movie a year to get through. Mm-hmm. I love how when they announced it, they said, the next title in the Skywalker arc or whatever.
Yeah, it made me wonder if they accidentally revealed Rey's backstory.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
I can see that.
they're just calling the main line like maybe the Skywalker saga or something like that.
But why would they continue to call it the Skywalker saga if there were no members of the new generation that were Skywalkers?
Well, Kylo Ren's a Skywalker.
Solo. He's a Solo.
Well, he's half Skywalker.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the last name Skywalker, so I don't think that counts.
Well, he's not even using his Solo name anyway.
Yeah.
That's true. I hope we get more Snoke.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just find out what Snoke is.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up with that guy?
Yeah.
Outside looking like Gollum.
I bet he doesn't even look like that. I bet it's a complete...
Well, I don't think he's that big.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
no.
definitely a Wizard of Oz,
I hope he's tiny. I hope he's just a little guy.
I've seen that joke where he's,
He's Yoda.
Yeah.
No.
He's
Noda.
Yoda. He's evil Yoda.
Noda.
Noda.
Noda. I saw some people saying, well, at least it's not the First Order Strikes Back.
Maybe Snoke is Jar Jar.
Yeah.
The true villain.
The true villain of the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
I hope Rey's not a Skywalker. That's too easy.
I want her to be a Kenobi.
I want her to be
Yeah.
Ben Kenobi's granddaughter.
That would be better.
Yeah, because that would set up, not only would that be a good reveal and a nice twist, it would set up a reason to have a
Obi-Wan
standalone movie, because there is a 20-year gap where
Which the comics sort of get into, but don't. And Rebels is going to get into a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because it's been teased for this season that we are going to see Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, I've heard a rumor that, well, not really a rumor, but a theory that Kenobi and that princess lady from the couple episodes of Clone Wars,
the basically the queen of the Mandalorians.
yes, shack up at one point in those
20 years.
20 years.
Well, I don't know, because it almost seems like in Clone Wars, the animated series, they almost allude that she's dead, that she was killed in the coup.
Maybe as far as Kenobi knows. Maybe
I don't know.
it was
This season's also been very Mandalorian heavy, so I'm assuming we're going to find out more.
Does that mean Rey could be part Mandalorian?
There you go. She's part Boba Fett.
Yeah. Can she get sweet armor?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
The ultimate fan service. Rey in Boba Fett armor holding a lightsaber.
2 lightsabers.
2 lightsabers. 2 double-sided lightsabers.
It was done.
that spin like the Inquisitors.
No,
The jetpack shoots lightsabers out of the back of them.
It's
Yeah, the missile is just a
It's
big
just a
lightsaber.
giant lightsaber.
I do love Sabine though. Like in Rebels.
Oh, yeah,
she's one of my
she's great.
favorite characters. This season's been real heavy on her.
I need to catch up with that show. It's a surprisingly good show.
It's
for
really good.
for a kids action show. Those are usually like awful, but this is really good.
Well, Clone Wars was really good. Like it started off really rocky and then got great and dark and weird. Rebels is kind of doing the same thing. But no, this whole Last Jedi thing, it's interesting. Mm-hmm. And it here lately, Disney has been very selective in pulling things from the EU that they threw in these are the legend stories and bringing them into the main canon stuff.
They've thrown out the EU and they're picking and choosing the stuff they want to keep.
Which
Yeah.
is the way to do it.
That
'cause
is.
There's a lot of EU that's garbage.
A lot of contradictory
Yeah.
extended universe stuff.
The stuff here's the thing with the EU books, and I'm sure a lot of the hardcore EU fan base is will set me on a stake for this one, but a lot of it is really, really bad science fiction writing.
Yeah,
Like it has all the really crappy tropes of science fiction novels,
sure. Oh, yeah.
and that's why there's a billion of them. The Star Trek ones are just as bad.
Well,
if not worse
because you
sometimes.
didn't have a George Lucas or something like that to regulate, hey, this is what...
Yeah.
When you have a George Lucas that says, it was always my intention for everything to work, even when it doesn't.
Yeah. There is.
Also, I'm going to put this giant CGI monstrosity in the background of a 30-year-old movie. It's always my intention.
Always too soon. The special editions are always too soon. But yeah, because we've pulled Thrawn out of the EU and thrown it into canon. Woody Harrelson's character was an EU character.
Sure.
That was part of the Han Solo saga.
Who is the guy that Woody Harrelson's playing in the Han Solo movie? I've seen news stories about it.
Space Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, I imagine
Probably.
that's probably who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Hamish in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I'm starting the Han Solo movie.
And it's weird because Star Wars, for better or worse, they've never really relied on big name actors for their films. It's all it builds careers. It's never really a stopping point for people who already have established major careers for the most part. I'm not talking about your Sir Alec Guinnesses or your Tarkins or whatever, but for the most part, it's a fairly unknown actors and actresses. For this Solo movie, they have Woody Harrelson and Donald Glover, and those are two
well established.
very well established actors. Even Rogue One didn't really have Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, that was the biggest name.
That
in
was
movie,
the
probably.
biggest name, and Alan Tudyk, but you wouldn't know if you didn't look at the end credits.
Yeah, because he's the
And even
robot.
even for all the movies Alan Tudyk pops up in, I wouldn't really consider him a huge name in films.
He does a lot of voice work.
He does a
Yeah.
ton of voice work.
Crap, especially for Disney.
Yeah, he's been in like almost every Disney
like the
animated
new
movie.
age of Disney movies.
Yeah, since
Yeah,
Wreck-It Ralph.
yeah. Well,
he's in Wreck-It Ralph. He's in
Frozen.
He's in Zootopia.
He was
Yeah.
in Moana, wasn't he?
Who was it?
I don't know. I just think I remember seeing his name
he
in the
is
credits.
Disney Animation's version of John Ratzenberg.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, think about it.
Speaking of Alan Tudyk, though, I kind of want to watch that Powerless show.
Powerless looks really good.
I've heard good things.
Yeah,
The trailer's pretty funny.
He where he plays Bruce Wayne's a needy cousin Van Wayne.
Man, Wayne.
He's like, yo, yeah, I texted Bruce the other day. He's like, oh yeah, what did he say? Stop using my HBO Go account. He's such a joker.
Yeah.
Anyway, more back on topic. Woody Harrelson is going to play a character named Shrike, who was introduced in the Han Solo trilogy back in '97.
It's a Marvel villain. No, DC villain. Shrike is a DC villain.
I'm not sure what his full name is, but he is
Alexander Shrike.
he's a bounty hunter,
Oh, okay.
but he's a failing bounty hunter, so he turns to crime, and he picks up young Han as like he collects a group of orphans whom he uses for confidence tricks and thefts. So basically, he's the bad guy from
Oliver Twist.
Oliver
is what I'm
Twist.
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the Fagin of space.
yeah, he's Space Fagin.
Space Fagin.
Carl Fagin.
It works. I like
Oh,
it.
that's good. I hope his first name is Carl. Just as a joke.
Carl Fagin.
Uh,
I'm worried this movie's going to lean too hard on the comedy.
I am too.
Because, I mean, Star Wars has always had humor in it, but it's not...
It's not an out-and-out comedy.
Yeah.
well, when they try to weigh too much into the comedy, you get like episode 1.
Episode 1 and the holiday special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like my Star Wars jokes, like, quick, witty, and
Few and far in between.
yes.
Yep.
Yes. Situational comedy works
Yes.
really well for Star Wars.
Episode 7 had the perfect amount.
Yes.
I truly believe.
Rogue One had some, but not really a lot.
Rogue One wasn't a funny story.
No,
Yeah.
it was
the
a
comedy would not lend well to the
No.
story that they were telling.
and
in
even
Rogue One.
most of the comedy they used was K2SO.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a different Star Wars movie.
Which is fun.
It truly was, which was,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
part of what made it cool.
You know,
Yep.
in and out.
Yep.
But I'm excited for. Well, I'm always excited for Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I am wary of the Han Solo film and probably a lot of the other standalone stories they pull.
Yeah.
Like
I'm never not going to be worried about the standalone movies.
oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rogue One was perfect.
A very pleasant surprise.
Yes, but
For me.
the Han when they're weighing in on the characters and the names it's shaky for me.
There's something they can ruin there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like if they would have went back and made like a Legolas standalone film for like Tolkien movies.
I'd watch that. That sounds pretty cool,
Now,
actually.
to be fair, it would be 5 movies
yeah.
about Legolas's background.
Because
Five
they would stretch
movies
it out.
they would
way-
have
Five
to stretch
movies
it
about
out.
his childhood.
Yes.
His infinite elven childhood.
All right. Anyway, let's move on from Star Wars, a movie that we're looking forward to. Let's take 2 seconds, because we have to. Let's talk about the new Power Rangers trailer for 2 seconds. I don't want to talk about it long. It looks more like a superhero movie. There is a bit more levity.
At least this trailer was better than the other one.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to get tricked. This new trailer has tricked an awful lot of people. I'm not going to be tricked, because you can cut a trailer to make a movie look like anything.
Look at the Suicide Squad trailer.
Or the Batman versus Superman trailer.
As Zack
Yeah.
Snyder. Zack Snyder consistently cuts an amazing trailer for a mediocre at best movie.
Oh yeah,
And-
I was super excited about Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker
Yeah,
Punch
oh,
looked
yeah.
great as a trailer,
Oh, yeah.
but as a movie, it just failed on every
Nope.
level. Anyway, this trailer, if they would have led with this trailer first, I would be a little more on board for the movie. I'll admit that. But I think the first trailer that they created with the dourness and the sadness and the bummer times is more
angst.
indicative of the angst, is much more indicative of how the movie is going to go, and that this second trailer is a
A reaction to the backlash.
reaction to the backlash that the first trailer received.
And Batman versus Superman did the same thing.
Did the exact same thing.
I mean, the trailer for that movie came out and people dogged on it, and so they came out with the second one and gave us a lot more Batman doing Batman things.
Yes.
and people got excited about it again.
Well, what did this new trailer give us? It gave us a lot more jokes.
Yes.
It was a lot brighter. Things were in the daytime.
Yep. It gave us Zordon.
It
which
gave
is
us Zordon.
what, sort of.
Yeah, the
Bryan
closest
Cranston.
approximation to Zordon.
Bryan Cranston's face jammed into one of those 3D pen sculpty things.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I described it when I was
Yeah.
when I was
And there's
messaging you
there's
guys.
not even an effect on his voice. It's just Bryan Cranston talking.
There's no effect
Yeah.
on his voice. He doesn't look like, he just looks like Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
It looks like they hired him for an afternoon for one day. He just
Put
stood
a bunch
in
of
the booth,
ping pong balls on his face. It's
stood there, read his lines, and then left. I think.
a real Godzilla situation with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. I think Alpha 5 in motion and with the voice works a little better. I still think that the arms and the weird kind of reptilian style that they did with him, I'm okay with in motion. If they would have removed the eye stalks on the side and just given
yeah.
him the Cylon visor like he had in the original.
And also, Alpha doesn't even sound different. Alpha sounds...
It just sounds like Bill Hader.
It sounds like Bill Hader.
It sounds like Bill Hader.
It sounds like Bill Hader doing a high-pitched voice, kind of, a little bit.
Bill Hader trying to
But
sound
that's
like Patton
fine.
Oswalt.
He's not going to be in the movie for more than 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
He's just there because he contractually has to be.
Yeah. The Zords look like a mess.
Oh, yeah.
They look less like a mess than the toys.
Yeah.
But even in motion, they still look like crap.
They look like Michael Bay Transformers.
Yeah, they look like Transformers.
Yeah.
They look like Transformers with maybe a little bit more color.
A little better than Michael Bay Transformers.
But not by much.
Yeah. This trailer did give the answer to the question I had for the first trailer. Why didn't Zach say a single word in that first trailer? It's because he's the comic relief. Mm-hmm. Because every line that came out of the character's mouth in this new trailer was a joke. I will admit the joke when the 5 of them are in that pool and they're all glowing with their different colors, and Zach, the Asian character, says, "Hey, I'm black," and Billy, the black character, goes, "What?" And Zach goes, "Yeah, I am. Look." That made me chuckle a little bit. I will admit that.
And I feel like they made that joke specifically because of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The race flip that they did with the characters. Yes, absolutely.
Race flip and the fact of the colors of their costumes.
On the flip side, the Yellow Ranger pee in this cup because we think you're on drugs joke did not hit at all. That killed the momentum for me for that trailer. A lot of people are citing that was, oh my gosh, that was really funny.
No, it
and
wasn't.
random out of no.
I didn't even get it as a joke.
It was dumb.
I got it as more of a tail end of that whole angsty home life thing.
Also, why would her mom just randomly have a drug pee cup in their house?
It's the angst thing.
You can buy those.
Oh yeah, it's the whole thing of
well, there you go.
she's a troubled teen. Like
Yeah.
all the characters except for Billy are troubled teens.
A troubled teen's mom would have a drug test in their house.
True. I suppose, but still, joke didn't land.
No, it
Also,
wasn't funny.
Can I just say that those putties do not look like putties at all?
Well, nothing in this movie looks like anything.
I understand
so
that.
I'm not surprised by that.
I wouldn't even looked at that and said, "Oh, look, putties." No, they just look like rock dudes.
In the context of this movie, I think I have no problem with the putties being made out of what I think the way they're going to set it up is Rita's power just creates something out of whatever is close by, and she's going to be inside a city.
Concrete.
Yeah. She's going to make monsters out of concrete.
And in one case, gold.
and a giant gold robot monster. Yeah. All right. I will say I think I'm beyond the point of getting mad about this movie.
No, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I just don't care. I'm going to go see it opening weekend because I have to.
Because we have to.
Because we have
Yeah.
to. We've talked about it enough on the show. We have to now.
And plus, it's Power Rangers, which is something we
Yeah.
have put on ourselves. We
I have
pigeonholed
to.
ourselves.
This is our fault. We are the problem. I admit.
Just like Ninja Turtles, just like Transformers.
I still have never seen any of those Ninja Turtles movies, and I never will.
Never say never. We could assign that for a no, I haven't seen that.
That's true.
All right. Well, anyway, let's keep moving on. We have let's do some quick hits. Stick with movies. M. Night Shyamalan's next movie is going to be an Unbreakable sequel.
Boo.
I don't want it.
Never saw Unbreakable.
Yeah, neither
Unbreakable.
either.
Unbreakable
it's
is great.
It's of his original works.
It's one of the
before he
best.
goes off the rails of dumb.
Before
It's-
Lady in the Water or whatever. Was that what?
Lady in the Water, if you watch it, the execution is dumb, but the premise is kind of neat.
Yeah. I like the fact that it was the story he wrote for his kids.
Yep. The same with The Village. The idea was neat, but the execution was dumb. Mm-hmm. The one where it's the medieval town,
Yeah.
but secretly in modern day. Oop, I spoiled it.
Oh, you spoiled the
Darn, I spoiled
twist.
it. The twist. What a twist.
What a twist!
Yeah. But Unbreakable was very good. I think, and
was
I
back
don't.
when he was-
But I don't think we need a sequel.
No, it doesn't really lend to a sequel.
It doesn't
At all.
It really
Hey
doesn't.
guys, remember when he made a Last Airbender movie?
I'd rather not.
I try not to remember that movie.
Remember when he was going to make a series of Last Airbender movies to encapsulate the entire
What?
show?
That was the plan.
That was the
Yeah,
plan.
'cause
That
the
was supposed to be the first.
movie. The movie even says Book 1 water.
Yeah, there were supposed to be three or four different movies wrapping up.
Three.
Three movies
It would've
wrapping
been
up
each
season into a 2-hour
Wow.
movie. So we could have had a live action Toph in the second episode, in the second movie, and he would have screwed that up too. Anyway.
Well, he would have pronounced his name wrong, for one.
Yeah.
Her name.
I don't know that show at all.
Toph is a girl.
Toph's a girl.
Toph.
I've watched the whole series once, and it was fine.
It's one of my favorite animated series of all time.
I'm good with seeing it once.
I've tried to watch
and
it,
Toph
and I
is my favorite character.
I couldn't get into it.
It gets better. It does start off like very Nickelodeon cartoon, but it definitely gets better.
It ends in a halfway Nickelodeon cartoon. Like I said, I watched it once. Once was enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Anyway,
there's a lot of movie news. There's a Neko Atsume movie coming in Japan.
for those who don't know, Nekotsume is that phone game where you collect cartoonish cats for your yard.
That's all you do. There's no anything.
Yeah.
There's no actual gameplay.
Yeah, you just buy items, set them down, and wait for a cat to show up.
Yeah, and this trailer looks like it is an accurate representation of the game. It might be the closest video game to movie adaptation.
But it looks really cute and fun, though.
Yeah, it just looks kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a romance angle where he falls in love with the pet store girl.
Yeah.
Probably. You would need something like that because otherwise there would be no plot. It would just be some dude buying a bunch of stuff and then watching cats for 2 hours.
I'm okay with that.
But my thing is, will we get the weird rare cats like Tubbs?
Oh, you'd have to.
And Billy the kitten.
Yeah. John DiMaggio.
That's my favorite. He's one of my favorites.
I kept trying to get him, and I never could.
Yeah, 'cause-
I would miss him every time because you have a limited window of time when you open the app to find the cat there at whatever you left out, and I would always miss John DiMaggio.
Ramses, the pharaoh cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never actually played the game. I just I know what it is.
I logged almost every cat you could, and then they had their first big update and added like 20 more cats, and I was like, I'm done.
You know what? That's what I did with the Rick and Morty Pocket
Mortys.
I got almost all of the original run, and then they added a bunch more and a bunch of other different like
Stuff.
to do. I was like, I don't have time for this.
We were really hard into Pocket Mortys
Like,
there
I
for,
could
for about a month. Yeah,
I could play real Pokemon now. That's out.
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
It was the placeholder for Pokemon.
Yeah. We have time for one more kind of news topic, general discussion thing. I guess I don't guess the Oscars are coming up.
Yeah, the Oscar
soon.
noms came out.
Yeah.
Nom-noms.
I haven't really looked at them, but
I have them pulled up on my phone.
excellent. Well, let's go through them and see if anything stands out.
Well, the big one, Best Picture. Of course, La La Land's on there. You're going to see
It's
that
gonna-
one a lot.
And it's going to win a lot.
Yeah.
I have not seen the movie.
I've heard I have heard it's good and it's cute. I will probably not see it, but that's just me.
It's like I haven't seen The Revenant.
Oh, I never saw that either.
Revenant's good.
I mean, it's very much Oscar bait, though. It's one of those
La La Land
yeah.
absolutely
hooray
is.
Hollywood movies. that,
Hollywood loves patting themselves on the back and watching movies about how great they are.
and that's what La La
And
Land
that's
is.
what La La Land
So
is.
it's gonna sweep.
Sure.
We got Arrival, which I've heard is very good, and I haven't seen.
I've heard it's good.
Fences, which I don't know what that is.
No.
Hacksaw Ridge, that Mel Gibson movie.
No thanks.
Hell or High Water, I don't know what that is.
You ever notice a lot of the Oscar movies are like stuff from film festivals that the general public
Oh
has
yeah,
not seen?
Sure.
Yep, that's how it works.
Oh, not to interrupt. Have you seen the trailer for the new Anne Hathaway movie that hit the
Sundance?
Sundance
No.
circuit? She plays a train wreck of a woman who moves back to her hometown and discovers that when she passes out drunk, her movements 12 hours later control a giant kaiju that is wrecking Seoul, South Korea. What?
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is right up my alley. You had me at kaiju.
I should have had you at Anne Hathaway.
That's true.
That's where the trailer had me.
This is
but
true.
anyway.
I do really enjoy Anne Hathaway as an actress.
Yes. Oh, anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
I'll find it later.
Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
Hidden Figures, which looks very good.
I've heard
want to see
amazing.
that.
I've heard amazing things, and it's been selling out everywhere.
Which
It's
is
great.
fantastic.
It's a shame it's going to lose to La La Land because
Yeah, that's the one that should actually
it's
win.
the one that should probably actually win.
And Lion, I don't know what that is. Manchester by the Sea, that has Casey Affleck in it.
Okay.
Moonlight, which I'm assuming is a movie based on the TV show Moonlighting.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
So Bruce Willis is in that one. Best director, we got the director of Arrival. Mel Gibson is actually up for best director for Hacksaw Ridge.
Won't get it.
Boo.
And the La La Land director.
I'm pretty sure Mel Gibson's been like, ever since his downward spiral, is very much blackballed by most of Hollywood.
Well, yeah. All right, let's go through highlights because we only have a couple minutes left here.
Wow, Viggo Mortensen is up for best actor.
What has he done?
Captain Fantastic.
I don't know what that is.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling, La La Land.
Of course.
Best actress, Emma Stone, La La Land. Meryl Streep's up for another one.
Of course.
Oh, is she? She's probably in for
Florence Foster Jenkins.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good too, but she won't win it because she won the People's Choice.
Yeah.
Just a lot of La La Land over and over
Honestly,
again.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the other award shows are a little more genuine than the Oscars.
Well, because the People's Choice are chosen by a panel of actual actors and whatnot, where the Oscars are just a bunch of random old dudes who only see a handful of movies every year and get synopses of the other ones and just go, this one. So what are some surprises?
Here's some Suicide Squad nominated for best makeup and hairstyling.
I know.
Also, Star Trek Beyond was also nominated for that.
Well, Star Trek Beyond had a lot of really good effects in it. Mm-hmm. And the makeup was really on point.
I think a lot of the effects and makeup and costuming awards have a bunch of comic book and sci-fi style films added to it, mainly to appease that genre of film fan, because we're never going to see a sci-fi movie win Best Picture. We're never going to see
no matter how good it is.
We're never going to see a comic book movie win Best Picture, no matter how good it is. Never. It's never going to happen. It could be the Citizen Kane of superhero movies,
but it's still a superhero.
But as far as the old people, the old farts that choose these awards, it's still a superhero movie and therefore not worth their time.
La La Land was nominated twice in the Best Music category for 2 of its songs.
Hey, wow.
But Moana's in there too, so Lin-Manuel Miranda will be there.
Yeah, and he'll be doing the My Brother and Me, great job hand gesture all over the place. I hope he wins just so he can get on stage and do that, because you know he will.
Hey, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is nominated for production design and for costumes.
Cool. Well, the Harry Potter movies always got those.
Yeah.
The costumes were always really good.
They are really good in Fantastic Beasts too. It deserves that.
I almost bought Newt's coat because I really wanted it.
And the other real big surprise, no Pixar movies in Best Animated. They always have a Pixar movie in there, and then Pixar always wins.
Was there a Pixar movie in the last year?
Finding Dory.
Okay.
The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah. Was that last year? I don't know, but Finding Dory was the big one, and it got snubbed.
Yeah, well.
It's a sequel,
It's a sequel.
Yeah.
What I hate is, like, as much as I love Disney and Pixar, there are a lot of really amazing animated films out there that get snubbed because of the Disney Pixar.
Yep.
Sure.
The one that should win is Kubo and the Two Strings.
I agree with that.
It is beautiful. It really
but
is.
But it won't, because it's not Disney
I would
Pixar.
love to see any Laika movie get an Oscar, because they're beautiful and well put together.
Well written.
Just fantastic movies, and they never win.
And they never insult your intelligence.
Again, it's the people that choose the deciding factors. They don't see the movies during the year, and they
think animated films are just something to park your kids in front of.
Right, and their crutches just go, okay, which one's the Pixar?
Which one's the Disney?
Which one's the Disney?
Yeah, because both Moana and Zootopia are on there too, so it's going to be one of those two.
Sure.
And my guess is Moana.
Yeah.
Even though I think I like Zootopia better.
Zootopia is a very thought-out movie.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like Zootopia has the better underlying themes, where Moana is more of a standard
Disney flick.
Disney feature, which is not bad, but is
also
standard.
Moana is a very progressive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They're both very progressive movies, but I see Moana taking it just because it's the most obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most recent.
Yeah.
It's the freshest in people's minds. So anyway, with that, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you all for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can also find us at Facebook at facebook.com/nerdoverloadradio.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can tweet at us at nerd_overload and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nerd Overload TV.
That's right. We are also on iTunes and Stitcher. And I want to put in an extra special plug. We have a special online-only monthly podcast called No, I Haven't Seen That. It's a movie review show about movies that Cody hasn't seen.
Because it turns out I've missed out on a lot of films.
A lot of seminal 80s and 90s films, to be specific. Some 70s in there. And those come out monthly. They're also on iTunes and eventually Stitcher by the time you hear this, probably on Stitcher. And we have a new episode coming out. It's going to be this coming Tuesday. The Tuesday after the show goes up. We put them out at the end of the month. And it's for Clue, the Tim Curry classic.
It was a great movie, and I really enjoyed watching it. And there's 3 episodes of
there are 3 of them so far. Yep, Tommy Boy, Blues Brothers, and now Clue. And we're planning on doing these monthly at the very least.
They're really fun to make, and I hope they're just as fun to listen to.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Pizza out.